All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Grease Monkey channel. Today, we're going to be doing some character design and some drawing for the animatic that we were making in the last 2 weeks, the last 2 streams. I'm using my graphic tablet, so that's why this camera is at this weird angle. It's very unflattering, honestly. So I'm gonna be working on doing some character work now that we got basically the rough down of what the animation's gonna be looking like. There's still tweaks to be made, but I'm kind of bored of doing that aspect of this or this portion of this thing. So we're gonna be working on, some fun stuff by like just doing some grease pencil drawing. I'm a little rusty. I haven't used a grease pencil in a long time. So we're just gonna, since like probably 4.0 or even before, so it's been a while. Basically, I have the last 2 weeks I've been working on an Animatic. Let's see if my music's a little too loud here. I've been working on an Animatic here, and it goes like this. Basically, we use the reference at the bottom left there, and we kind of blocked out the mannequin to map out the whole move there. It's about 4 seconds of like little animation. It's moving a lot slower now. It's because it's going at a slower frame rate, but overall this is the whole move. And now I want to start drawing over the characters that I'm going to put on it. But since I haven't really designed I haven't even had any thoughts about how to design what they look like, I'm going to be working through doing some drawings and figuring out how to, figure out what they're going to look like, so then I can start then sketching over this animatic here and start bringing it to life, figuring out the backgrounds, figuring out figuring out the characters, and all that type of stuff, right? So, there it is. You see it. We have a little character. One's bigger than the other. Gets punched in the face right in the beginning. Ducks under a kick. Runs. Jump off of like an edge. And punches the other person in the face with like the momentum of the jumping. And then they hit the wall. So this is going to be very anime-like. And then like smoke coming out and all that stuff or whatever. So that's what we're going to be working on. That's what we're going to be going through. So that's pretty much it. So I guess we could just start going now. So let me stop this. We're going to close this one. Cool. Now we have I did a little bit of pre-setup here to set up all the stuff. Let me turn on my reference that I'm going to be using. So I have PureRef open, and PureRef has a bunch of, the way I want it to look, what I'm very inspired by is like the character designs in Apex Legends. So I have a bunch of Apex Legends characters here that I'm going to start designing for the smaller character. And there's like different characters here, and I'm just gonna start going through and looking through the reference and figuring out what I like, what I don't like, and then doing some sketching and drawing within Blender, because like I said, I haven't touched the grease pencil in a very long time. And let me fix my chat window here. There we go. Do this so I can bring up the chat much easier. There we go. Okay, so we have a bunch of references here of Apex Legends characters with their different designs. I like the character designs in Apex Legends. I like the fabric with like the kind of like blockier sci-fi look and everything. Sam Collins, what's up? Thank you for joining here. We're going to be doing some sketching in grease pencil. I haven't used grease pencil in a long time, so just showing off the references that I'll be kind of going through and really trying to figure out the workflow for drawing with the grease pencil, since it's like vector based and all that stuff. So it's not raster. So we're going to be working both through learning grease pencil, kind of like relearning it again, and also just figuring out some different designs for the two characters from the animatic from before. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I have a tablet. I have an XP pen. In my preferences, I set the oh, you can't see the preferences, but in input, I put the max threshold to 0.5, and that's what I've done there. And then as far as the settings for the grease pencils, these are all stock. So we're gonna be first testing out all the brushes, testing out all the stuff to see how they feel, and then we'll do some adjustments, and then we'll start doing some concepting, figuring out. This isn't gonna be a long stream, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Not really feeling like streaming today, but I think I do want to make some progress on this animatic that I want to make. This camera angle is a little different because, like I said, I'm using my tablet. It's a bit of an unflattering. It's like right here, and it's like really close. Kind of weird. And when I look up to see at the stream, I'm like looking up. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so let me start going through the stuff here. Okay, so what I first did to open up the Blender, I opened up Blender and then I hit new. Does that even open up? Yeah, I hit new, and then I hit 2D animation. I kind of set this 2D layout for me, and then under the world setting here, this is what the kind of like the page or the background is. You can change the color of the background. It lights me up. This is so weird. You can see that such an unflattering camera angle. Anyway, let me not focus on that. So I set that up here with the world. I like a little bit gray instead of it blasting me with like a lot of light. When I haven't used the grease pencil in like I said, since like 4.0. So this is new to me, this being at the bottom. There being like different brushes here is a bit new to me. Like that panel. But everything else kind of looks the same. So yeah, we got our stroke, and we can decide between doing the material stroke, which is on the right side here. These are the different materials that we have. Solid, and then we can change the color right here, or we can use the, what is this called? Color attribute, which I think is, like in like a 3D term, it's called like vertex colors. And I think it sets the color from the vertexes that the grease pencil makes. Yeah, we have the radius, strength, all this stuff here. And honestly, I don't have my tablet or my button set up for this. So let's see, when I hit the eraser button, does it do anything? It does not. So I don't have anything set up on my tablet, so I'm going to be mostly using the interface. Usually I like to use shortcuts and stuff. On the bottom right, you can see that I have the screencast keys. Let me kind of offset this. There we go. There you go. So when I hit tab, you can see that you can see what I'm pressing. All right. So let's play around with some of this stuff. Let's just get started here. Let me make sure this is like not too weird here. Okay. All right, let's start off with the first brush. What's it called? Airbrush. Let's feel it out. It's kind of fun. Let me erase this. Okay. So yeah, the airbrush is interesting, and this could be like a tablet thing, but like anytime I do those turns, there's like a darker spot here, a darker spot here. I'm not sure if that's like a me thing, a tablet thing, but it's something I have to, I think about there. Let me delete this. So if I just do something like, if you do it really fast, you can really see it, but if I do it slow, let's see. Interesting. I wonder if I can change any of these settings. I assume it would be... This is all my line settings here, I think. Adjustments. Display. Is it over here? Let's see. There it is, my tool. Okay, cool. So let's see what brush settings we have. So like, yeah, like that darkening on the end is interesting. I wonder if, like I said, I wonder if it's a me thing or if it's just how this is. Are there presets for these lines here? Nope. Spacing, maybe, what if I put 0 spacing? Oh, it's not even an airbrush anymore. It's kind of tripping me out, like the edges look kind of weird. Maybe that's just my screen. Okay, so definitely spacing is not it. Let's put it, it was on 15. If we put it at 121, I wonder if we put it at like max. Anyway, I think I'm gonna skip that one. I'm not gonna be using this one anyway, but let's put the spacing back to something more manageable, 25. We'll erase this. Let's go to the next one. What's this one's called? Ink pen. This looks like it has a little curve on the pressure, which is pretty cool. Spacing 100, yada yada, the stroke, post. Yeah, I forget that there's like some advanced things in here where you can, yeah, the auto smooth afterwards and the post-processing, like after you do the drawing. So we won't mess with that too much this stream, but we'll... So that's pretty cool. So we can go light, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy. And then it, yeah, you can see it change after I let go of the stroke. Like, watch. It's kind of weird, you know, because it's not the... I think it's the post-processing that's happening. Like you can see it basically on the curves here. Like if we do a bunch of curves, they kind of like smooth out, which is fun. So if we... A bit of a delay on my tablet specifically. Okay. I know how that one works. What's this one called? Ink pen rough. So this gives you more of that wobbly line. And I bet you this is just an ink pen with, yes, randomize on. And it has the randomizing of the radius and thus making it the rough pen. My tablet feels kind of weird. I'm going to clean it real quick. There's like, I don't know, when I'm drawing on it, I can kind of feel like I'm hitting like little pieces of dust. Let me make sure that it's good. Make sure I'm not like super scraping this up. All right. Okay, that's looking better. Let's see. Ah, it feels much better. There was definitely a bunch of like dust on my screen. All right, so this is pretty cool. It has like kind of like that rough look. Let's see what this one's called. Marker bold. The markers are always interesting because when you go over it multiple times, you get kind of like this look, this streaky look. And I just don't know if that's a good thing. Like you can do something cool like this, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would use that one yet. Cool. The next one is called Marker Chisel. So I assume it's like a line, like a chisel brush, which is cool. I wonder if that's done specifically with this brush setting here, or if there's something special about its post-processing cursor. Like, is there just a texture or a line on it? Oh, here's the stroke, which is up there. Okay. Cool. We know chisel. We got pen, which is, I think, one. You're insane, bro. Why do you say that? Rigatoni. And then we have the, yeah, this is just like one radius, which is kind of cool. There we go. All right, what's next? We have the pencil. So I assume it's just like a lighter version of the pen. Cool. We'll keep going. What's this one called? Pencil soft. How could it be softer? Oh, I see. It has like soft edges and stuff, which I think it looks the weirdest, honestly. But I may use it. We'll see. Okay. What do we got here? What's this? Tint. So I think this is tinting a line, right? So like if we had a line already, and we go to tint, we can like color, we can basically paint our strokes here. So that makes sense. Easy stuff. Oops. Cool. And then we got the erasers. We got the soft. No, the hard. The point. So to erase points. Soft. Erase an entire stroke. And then the fill. And I do like the fill a lot. Like, oh, I have to have like a fill this. I think I have to have this. No? See, this is what always confuses me about this. So I'm on the fill, and it is not filling. What is going on? Do I have lines? See, like I'm going on it, and there's no fill. It doesn't make sense. What is happening? Like my other stuff works, right? There. Oh, the fill. I'm dumb. The fill is just to fill like an empty area. So like if we had a circle, right? I was thinking of it as like a fill brush. There we go. It's like, it depends on the material that you have. So if we made that material a different color, right? I think it would have filled. See, this is not making any sense to me. Let's do it again. So we'll get this. Nope, see? That's what I thought it was gonna do. I can see how this can be so confusing for somebody. So we do that, we do fill. We'll get the fill thing there. Oh, I did stroke. It should be this one. There it is. And then the fill turns a different color. Okay. So that's good. So I guess we did everything. So now we can start doing the drawing and stuff. So let me erase all this. We'll get the brush that I think I want, which I think is this one. We're gonna do a solid stroke. We're gonna put this up just by a little bit here. Wow, it's crazy how big it is. Like, we're dealing with some super small numbers. Like, it actually doesn't make sense. 0.01, is that what it should be? Let's see, 0.01. 0.02. Okay, so I think I want it at point 0.015. That's kind of where I want to be. Okay, so I think we're good. Let me make sure my stream's going okay. Forgot to check it. If anybody's in the chat, let me know if the stream's looking all right, so I can just double make sure. Let's see, right now, going there. Sometimes it's hard to figure out if things are going okay. There you go. All right, looks like excellent connection. Okay, I think we're good. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so what I'm thinking of for the smaller character, so let me open up that, let's see. So in the animatic, let's go look at it. I think it's here. There it is. We can make this invisible. All right. So what I'm thinking about when it comes to like this character thing, like I'm thinking like that we have a big character and a small character. And the small character is one who's blue. So I want like a character. I want this to be a little bit sci-fi themed. That's why I'm looking at some Apex Legends stuff or whatever. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna figure out what that is. Like a small character has like maybe like a space suit. Maybe this punch like breaks her or cracks her helmet or whatever. And then maybe the other person's also in a spacesuit or something. And we can do that. So I think that's what we're gonna do here. So okay. All right. I think we're ready. I've been saying that for like the past 10 minutes. So first thing, let's see. We're gonna go to our stroke. This is all our layers. I'm gonna make like kind of like a base head, so then we can start drawing like different how do you say, different helmets on there. What I'll do is I will import that model. So let's do that. Okay, I really don't need a lot of this stuff. I just want the head. So we're gonna make a lot of this stuff invisible. We're gonna make the bone shapes invisible here. We're gonna go to the rig, and I think if we go into the rig object mode here, we're gonna take off the sliders. And the menu there. We're gonna also erase this camera. We're not gonna have any camera, except for the one that we're viewing through. And then we're gonna pose this character, not pose, but get them up and close. So so we can see the helmet here. Oh, there's a plane here. Weird. There we go. We're gonna do a 3/4 view. We're gonna take off the rig. Maybe we'll get a little closer. Nah, maybe we'll just do like that. Here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the material so I can see some of these lines. So we'll go into our shader mode here. And then we'll bring back our menu, because I think we can control the lines. There we go. There we go. We turn on those guidelines. We'll turn everything else off again. We'll go back into our view here. Our camera, I'm gonna put the pass, I think it's passport out, pass out. It's down here. Viewport display, passport out, and we're just gonna do that. We're gonna hit the home key there. We're going to bring this down, hit the home key again. We'll go into our stroke. We'll make this go away. And maybe we'll go into draw mode now. Okay. Oops. In my preferences, I changed it so it pans differently. There's a lot of setup here, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm in my preferences right now. For some reason, Streamlabs does not show it. So there we go. So now when I click, I can just pan around a little click here. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then part of me, I'm like, can I make this like more invisible? Can I make them see through? I think I could do that in the object mode. And instead of it being principal shader, we're going to do 2 shaders here. This is some basic shader stuff. So I'm gonna do a shader, mix shader, and then we're gonna do a transparent. We're gonna connect that into the bottom, connect this to the top. It looks like it has like the denoising here. Is it this? So weird. I can see it like, I don't know if it's denoising. Or if it's like, this has to be denoising, right? Like, is it one of these settings down here? I'm not sure. Render. Oh, it's under this, but this is not even on. I wonder if this has to do with something else. Let's see. Theme. Light threshold, clamp in. All right, we'll do 64 like it was originally. Shadows, advance, clamp in. It is weird, right? I think you could read it on the stream, but it's like an animated grain. It's super weird. It makes me feel like it's, oh, it's this, temporal reprojection. If I put the samples up. Interesting. What does this do? Let's see. Denoise this image using temporal reprojection, can leave some ghosting. So we'll just take that off. I was hoping that we wouldn't have this grain here. I didn't expect this to be grainy. Why is the translucency grainy? Doesn't make any sense. It must be doing something different here. I think I know what it is. It's under the materials. Let's go to materials. And let's go to one of these. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we're gonna take off back face culling. There it is. That was like forever. So in the materials, I guess when a material is made, there's different settings in Eevee. And it was in render method blended. If it was in dithered, it does it this way. And I guess that's what it uses, the type of rendering to blend between like transparency and other materials. But if we just put that to blended, this is kind of what I wanted. This is what I wanted to see here. And transparent overlap, that's interesting too. Slab sphere. We'll take that off. Okay, we are back. Cool. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit mode and I'm going to select a lot of these different parts because I don't want to see them. I'm just going to hit H to hide them. Or no, hold on. We're going to do this the real way. We're going to make a vertex group and we're going to call it hide. My keyboard's like on the side here. Hide. And then we're going to assign this and we're going to deselect and select. You'll see that it's there. Great. Then we're going to get out of here. We're going to put another modifier here. And we're going to do a mask modifier. So that's under, I actually don't like the way they did this because it's harder for me to find things. Mask under generate. And then we're going to choose the hide one we just made, H. Hide, and then we're going to reverse it. Wow. All right. We're there. We got helmet time, and we're going to save. Okay. So let's look at some helmet references here, see where we can do. That's a fun helmet. This is a pretty fun helmet. Blue hair is pretty cool. So in my references, I really have just like two. So let's zoom up on the cool one. So maybe something like that. All right, so we're gonna go back to here. We're gonna go into draw mode. We're gonna go into our layers. There we go. We'll do our line layer. All right. Oh, now it looks like it's drawing behind, which is not what I want. So we're gonna move the character back. Let's see, we'll do this. Go to draw mode. Okay, learning a whole lot right now about grease pencil. So like, I wonder why it doesn't go behind. Is this always on top? What is happening? Okay, so I'm just gonna put in front for the grease pencil itself. Because I think that's what you're supposed to do for now. Because I want to just get drawn here. Oh, there we go. It's under 3D location. So if we take this off in front, and then we go into our layers, and then we put 3D location, then I should be able to move this character behind, right? Okay, this isn't making sense to me. Because if we look at it, oh, they're like way back there. That's why. I see. I see. Okay, so instead of doing the 3D one, we're almost to the drawing. We'll do 2D layer, and then we'll do in front, and then we'll just call it a day. And now we'll go to draw. We'll erase this line. We'll give ourselves some space. Home. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see if we can make some interesting, I don't know, some interesting designs here. I think I may want my pencil a little smaller. I think I want, the erase that I want is the stroke. I want to erase full strokes. Oh, shoot. Interesting. Because it kind of like leaves these like invisible marks there. Anyway, let's try this again. think I want a thinner line here. I've always liked the idea of like a cylinder coming out of somebody's head, kind of like a battery pack or something. It's just kind of fun, but I mean, that kind of looks all right. And we'll do like a little move here. Maybe scale it down. What I want to change right now is I'm gonna change one of my pencil buttons to be different here. Middle click. Okay. It's still not working as a middle click. Hold on. I'm trying to middle click with the pencil and that's not working. It works on the mouse. Lame. I wonder if I have to like... All right, we're gonna bring the gizmo back, which is just right here. So we'll bring the gizmo back, fine. And then we'll change. Oh, now everything's acting up. Oh my goodness. The stream's in shambles. Right now my XP pen's acting up. Nope. Sorry, I am like having a lot of clicking problems right now. I can't click on anything. Not even with my mouse. Oh my god. This stream is kind of cursed. I can't click on my toolbar. Can't click on anything. All right, let's see if I can fix this. What the hell? right, let's see if I can put my stream in a be right back. I think I'm back. Well, that was a whole process. I couldn't click on anything. My mouse wasn't working. It was kind of wild. I had to like take off a bunch of stuff. But I think we're back. Let's see. Well, the pressure sensitivity is not working now. Let's see. Okay. All right. Pressure sensitivity is back. Okay, I think we're back on track. Okay. Okay. All right, let's keep going. I'm just gonna do some different head designs here. Let's try and do it with the brush pen here. Let's see if I can do something interesting. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna make one of my keys here Control Z on my mouse. Huh. Oh, it doesn't work. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just keep going. You know, maybe this can be like a... Oh, I am missing my reference. Hold on. I just realized I am missing my reference. There it is. Kind of get that vibe going on. We're not going to do exactly that. We're just going to explore with some thoughts here. A little too round for me. Do some of this. Let's go back to the pen here. See what type of shapes we can do. We do like a spacesuit sort of thing. Okay, I think we're warming up here. I think I want a smaller. Maybe like, yeah, 0.01. All right. Yeah, designing these are, here's a process. Let's see. Just playing with different shapes right now. Kelly Johnson, Gino, why don't you have super chats enabled? I have not streamed in a long time. So I don't have a lot of the live streaming stuff set up properly. What are super chats again? I mostly understand Twitch stuff. What is a super chat in this context? We pay to ask you a question. Oh, just ask me a question for now. I don't have a lot of people watching my streams. So for right now, you could just ask a question. What is your question, Kelly Johnson? But good suggestion. As my streams keep going, I'll make sure to set all that up properly. Just right now, I don't know. I've been so busy with work. But if you have any questions, if anybody has any questions in the chat, please feel free to ask. You know, I can get derailed for now until I get back into the swing of things. I don't know where this concept's going. Let's go to the next one. Whoops. Okay. Are you just going to be doing 2D animatic or use 3D grease pencil rig for storyboarding? So, um, yeah, in the beginning of the stream, I showed the animatic that I was currently working on. I tried a different approach. I'll just show it to you now. Let me open it up. And then I'll go through what I'm doing right now. Take this off. Do this. And we'll do this. Okay. So, Kelly Johnson, what I'm doing is I have an animatic here that I was working on in the past two live streams. And basically, I did an approach that is not typically done. Usually, you work out the camera, and then you like draw in the stuff for the storyboarding and animatic. But I got like this mannequin, and then what I did was I used the reference on the bottom left there, and I posed out all the character. I posed out the mannequins to kind of inline go with the animation there, and then I worked out the camera angle. I decided at the end just to use the camera angle, the camera movement that the reference had. I did want to play with the camera, but I started getting a little frustrated with it, so I just decided to just kind of copy the thing here. So what I'm doing is that I will be having the 2D grease pencil thing, and I'm also learning, by the way. I'm very new to this stuff, so it's not like I'm a professional at this particular thing. But what I'm doing is that I worked out the mannequin movement with the reference, did the camera, and now I was designing the characters that I'm going to be drawing into the animatic. I feel like I'm doing this all backwards, right? Like probably you'll design your characters first or something, then you work out the movement, and then you work out the thing. So, I this week I was very tired of working in this 3D space doing stuff, and I wanted to do some drawing and stuff. So in the other drawing thing, what I'm doing is I'm working out how what they're gonna look like, so then I could start drawing in the mannequins myself, putting them in 3D space in here, and then working out this entire scene and stuff. I wouldn't take the stuff I'm doing like how it's supposed to be done. I'm more exploring how to use Blender in this way. Spitfire is somebody who he's a professional at this. Where did you get that fight scene you used to reference? It's in the description. I found it on Twitter. It's a Japanese stunt coordinator, I believe, who worked on different stunts in shows. But the link is in the description, their page, and directly to the reference. They have a lot of different fight references that are pretty good. Like, I like the rest of this one. It's Blender Crash. But I like the rest of it, but definitely check them out because they have a lot of good references on there for like fight scenes and stuff. So then right now what I'm doing is I'm using what I like, which is Apex Legends character design, and just kind of free flowing. This is more of a hangout where just drawing session where we're exploring some different looks that maybe I wouldn't even like any of them at the end of the stream, but I just need to figure out what those two characters look like, so then I can start drawing them in the animatic and stuff. So that is what's happening. I hope that was a good explanation. So yeah, and then right now I'm going from the top to the bottom. So I'm working out kind of like the feel of like the helmet, because I think they're going to be wearing I think I want them to wear a spacesuit, and just the overall shape, language type of stuff. I should be doing like the whole body, but I don't know. I feel like making a helmet right now, but I will be, trying out some different stuff here. I was using the armature as a base, but I'm starting not to like that right now. So I think I'm just gonna freehand the drawing for a while until I found something. And when I'm drawing, I'm still learning how to draw. I'm just figuring out different shapes I like, erasing, figuring out different shapes, seeing if I can find anything that's kind of fun. Oh, I definitely don't want it green. There we go. Maybe a little darker. Bum bum bum. But yeah, I'm just sketching out some different stuff. I should be talking during this, huh? It's a stream, right? So yeah, so I basically just I'm just looking for some different shapes here, seeing what I like. Really just freehanding, making big old shapes, making them work. Maybe that's like too big or whatever. So I think it's very weird to draw in Blender. The whole vector thing's very interesting, but um, it's still a lot of fun. Maybe she got a big old suit. This stuff is kind of inspired by, I think, her. Some Horizon. And really, I'm just GM. What's your main vocation and software of choice? Since it seems Blender is just a continuation of what you already know. That's a weird question. Because I do everything. I guess I could just tell you like how the my career is. But basically, I worked. I went to film school. I learned about films and how to shoot real films with cameras. Then I got into VFX, and with VFX, you have to use all sorts of software. So I've used software from like After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator. I used a little bit of Nuke, Houdini, um, and sculpting programs. I haven't really used ZBrush too much, but I have used it, and um, so that's where like my base is. But I'm so far from like schooling and stuff that like but Blender, I like Blender and After Effects. Those are the software that I use the most. And If I'm like usually drawing on like normal rasterization drawings, I would do like Clip Studio Paint, which I have, not Photoshop. I used to use Photoshop, but right now I'm trying to learn like the 2D hybrid animatic stuff with Blender and storyboarding and animatics and that type of stuff or whatever. But that's what's happening. When I switch materials, I wish it would keep the opacity setting. Is there a setting for that? Let's see. I think motion comics are the future for independent animators and filmmakers. Interesting. Motion comics. Where do you consume motion comics? Is it like, do you go on YouTube and do it? More than just comics, yet far less work than full animation. So for motion comics, for what you see in the future, is it like cutscenes, trailers, or is it like shorts and stuff that are being made somewhere? Is there somewhere that you consume a lot of motion comics, Kelly? Oh man, there has to be a setting where it keeps the, instead of having to keep switching. More than just it still doesn't have a wide platform. Yes, it does. I guess it doesn't. A big thing that got a big platform was like webtoons and stuff, like online comics. That's been, and where I've mostly been seeing animations are like in video game trailers. Um, yeah, video game trailers is mostly where I've been seeing them, which is pretty interesting. There's probably people on YouTube that claim to make motion comics, but all they do is take stuff from like Marvel and DC and pan the camera at certain times. So then what more needs to happen? Just like a little bit less so if DC and Marvel just pan cameras, what is a motion comic that you think is a better thing to do? Is it like actual, in between frames and stuff like that? It's not DC or Marvel, it's just people using their work for views, but a good example would be like what the creator of the Jason Lutz series does. I gotta check that out, Jason Lutz. Anyway, so far, I feel like this last drawing here, I'm getting really warmed up now. I'm feeling better. Let's keep going. But yeah, you can see how I'm getting warmed up. That was my first drawing. This is me testing out different like pencils and stuff. And then we're getting somewhere now with like a different type of spacesuit type of thing. So that's pretty cool. All right. But a good example would be, you ever use Toon Boom? No, I have not used Toon Boom. I never got that deep into the professional side of 2D animation. I'm now just getting into 2D animation after being like a 3D animator for quite some time. Um, so no, and Toon Boom is also very expensive. So I never found the money to be able to do it, to use that. All right, let's see if we could do something more interesting here. Do you like Toon Boom? Yes, it's very hard to learn, and I just started a few months ago. Interesting. Is it hard to? Why is it hard to learn? Is it just a lot of buttons, a lot of things? Like, does it not make sense? Is it something it's doing wrong? The software? It's very hard to learn how its layered artwork and its nodes work together. Interesting, interesting. I kind of like the functions of all the important nodes to be used. So it's just a lot of a program, huh? I know it is. Toon Boom is like what like the animators and professional people use and stuff. Are you trying to be or are a professional animator? Is that what you want to do? Storyboard, animation type of thing? I really like the wing horns on this one, so let's see if we can try and get that in there. I want to be good enough to grow my own YouTube channel like you. Oh, well, just know that I grew my YouTube channel through doing 3D stuff. I didn't grow my channel through 2D. But I know what you're saying. You want to grow a YouTube channel. It's a lot. It takes work, but I think you could do it. Honestly, you should just stream as soon as, or not stream, but start doing it as soon as you can. I don't think you have to be like super good to really start, you know? You can do it. All right, let's add some little bit of shading here in the second one. Solid fill. Let's see. Hold on, let me define this shape better. My drawing is just draw, erase, draw, erase. Doesn't matter. It's just really trying to get the vibe of what I'm trying to do here. That's a little fun concept. Looks like a speeder. She's speeding through. We're feeling better. Each one's getting each one's getting better because I'm like warmed up now. Oh no. There. All right, so just looking through, you can see how I'm getting warmed up here. But I think what I'm liking is, this reminds me of like the new Tron Ares trailer, kind of like that glass front. I do like the horns on the side, and maybe like some air vents, because she goes so fast. Maybe like a speeding character. I do like the bulkiness of the suit, so let's try and do a suit. I think we're gonna lean towards something like this, and I should just put these like all in one corner, kind of just seeing that this is my trial in it, my warm up period, or maybe I should just put them in a different material, different layer as my scraps. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So we will take all this, hit M, new layer, and we'll call it scraps. Scraps. And we'll bring it down and make it invisible. And now we will grab these guys. Put him in the corner. Put them in the corner. And let's see if we could start figuring out like a suit of some kind. I really like Horizon suit, but I also like Alter suit. I like this like patch that goes up to the collar. It kind of it's like a belt system. She has a little fanny pack, which I think is like so funny. Like she's like a killer and stuff, and she's like, and I carry my stuff in my fanny pack. Pretty funny. I like the leg protection on, I forget what this character's name is. Ash is pretty cool. She got that robot look going on. What I like about her is like the chest plate. So that's cool. If we're doing those wings, you know, it could be probably very similar to the wings here from Valkyrie, which is cool. She has like a jumpsuit type of thing. I love this protection thing mask from the front too. Anyway, let's put one on the screen and just work at it. We'll put on this one right here. Okay. We will keep going. Okay, let's see what we can come up with here. Oh. There you go. So let's put a line of action here. We'll do it real light. Let's see, we'll put some cylinders. I usually work with like a boxy cylinder type of thing. Kind of maybe have her reaching for something here. I'm trying to imagine the twisting. So that's like this way. Doesn't matter. We'll get the shape. We'll block out the shape first. I wish when I hit my erase button, it would go to the smaller size. Let's see. Is it this one? Let's put it to like 3. Let's try it again. See, it's still like huge. Like I write and then it's huge. But all of these are huge, right? 3. Let's put this one at, let's put them all at 3. See what, if there's any of these that are being affected here. Okay, let's see. I draw. Oh, it's one of them. It's probably this one. Let's put 20. There we go. So now when I draw, and it's a little smaller. Okay, that's the soft one. Okay. What was I doing? I need some breathing room here. So let's put this down here. We shrink it a bit. And I think, is there like there's a tool here to shrink everything, right? Let's see. Yes, there it is. We're gonna shrink. I made it so thick. So circle everything. And we'll thin it out. There we go. Let's go back to drawing mode. There we go. Just thought it was a little thick. We can do a little better now. Honestly, my stroke is still too thick. I'm gonna put 0.02 and we'll keep it going. All right, so let's see if we can kind of figure out what her suit's gonna look like here. Arms are messed up. So let's see. So let's do this on a different layer and bring the opacity down. And then we'll do it on a layer on top. See if we can, maybe we can have fun. Maybe we can pick a different color. Yeah, right now I'm doing it with the material. Maybe I'll do it with, no, I'll continue doing it with the material. I'll just make another material. All right, what color can we do? Maybe like what would be a fun suit? Probably a dark blue. Leaning on the purple or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Let's just have fun with these colors. All right. Let's see what we can do here. So this would be like, maybe like a double layer thing. Kind of copying this horizon thing. Maybe this is like a strap. It goes underneath. Some of this stuff is not going to make sense. We're just vibing here. We're vibing. We're feeling good. We're drawing. We're hanging out. My last 2 streams had a lot of thinky, and I'm tired of the thinky, so we're just gonna vibe out here real quick. So that can have some form there. And then be right at her elbow. And that would look like this over here. Maybe we see the thing there. Maybe they're like panels on them, maybe. I don't know. She kind of has like this panel on her front. I love like I said, I love the costumes, the skins and stuff on Apex Legends. They're They're my favorite. We'll go down to her rib cage here. Maybe we just don't make it that defined. I feel like she should have the helmet on, so let's see if we can put something here that looks good. Maybe it cuts off her chin a bit. I like the idea. There's this game trailer that came out, Marathon. I like the design a lot on that. They have like a character that their hood gets like created by some device that's stuck on the back of his head, and I thought that was a good, cool idea. Like the device would be right here, kind of like the back of the head, and then maybe that's what creates the bubble around her suit, the glass. So we can color that or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. We're vibing. Alright. And we're going to go to a torso here. Yeah, a lot of movement here. A lot of these characters have backpacks. I kind of like this armored ribbed going down. It's pretty fun. Maybe we can bring some of that. Maybe. Who knows? We'll feel in it. So that's gotta go down here. Maybe we can add something cool like the panels that are wings that don't make sense. I don't need it to make sense. I need it to be cool. That's all I care about. Is it cool though? Yeah, maybe this is not. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Let's see. It's definitely not at the right perspective here, but whatever. Let's try this again. Oh, I am having trouble here. Let's see. I think it needs to go. Ugh. I may scrap this idea just because I'm like not feeling. Oh, whatever. Maybe working now. Doesn't. I just need to get the idea, and then we can fix it later. It's like some extra shields or something. I don't know. Maybe her thighs are completely protected by the metal. She has like these plates here. So maybe we have that too. Maybe she has like these bands on her stomach that flare out for reasons. Protection, energy. Maybe they're maybe there's something, I don't know. could definitely be something. I feel like we need to. I like the the flare out pants, but I feel like it should be somewhere else. Like if it was like over here. Maybe on the back of the neck. That could work. But it goes outwards. Something like this. I wish we had an easy like mirror canvas on this. I think there is. Hold on. Maybe there is. View. Camera. Let's see. I thought there was like a mirror button here. Maybe we could choose the camera. Let's see. The camera, and it's like Control M, is it? Oh, we'll have to be like... There we go. But what a roundabout way to do that, you know? I think it like flips the camera on the other side. Let's try it again. Control M. Oh, let me turn these keys on. Yeah, like Control M, and then you hit X, and then it kind of like flips everything. I don't know. That should be like a toggle here somewhere. Unless it's up here somewhere. Maybe I'm missing it. Let's see. Auto merge, additive draw. Nope, nope, nope. Anyway, we'll keep going. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe to continue the motif, we'll do it on her legs too. So like, they actually flare out from here too. Maybe there's just one. It's just the one that kind of like actually flares out. Could be like around her bottom of her thighs, above her knee. It's kind of cool. A lot of detail for something that I would eventually have to animate, so I definitely would simplify it a bunch more. But, you know, we'll get to it. We'll draw in a crappy little hand there to indicate the hand. Maybe we'll start doing some fills now. Let's see. Let's get another fill color in here. All right, let's see if that's a good fill color. Maybe that works. Let's see what it looks like. I want the light maybe top left or something, so. I'm not good at shading, guys, but we can indicate some form here. I forgot I could just change the material color. Because it could just be a different color. Purple and red. I think we're getting somewhere here. What if it was like a lighter color? And let's just add a different color underneath it all. Kind of like that. And then I'll add, there's a button up here that I want to put on. I thought there was. Draw strokes on the back. There we go. So then everything will just appear behind it. And I'm just going to outline the whole thing. Very sloppily, I might add. I don't care. Just really tracing out what it looks like there. And then we'll change the color from here. Ugh. Yeah, this is going to be a shorter stream. I think I'm tired, but we're getting somewhere. Let me, I know I added a little like a helmet there, but let's bring back that layer. There it is, and then bring it back. Keep the sketchy lines. Erase those lines. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna stop here, but what I do like about this, I'm gonna leave myself some notes so I remember. Let me write this down. Notes. Noise. Notes. There. Let me get a pencil. And I'm gonna write down the things I remember liking. I do like this flare motif thing. So next session I'm going to develop that a bit more. Cool. And then we're gonna switch these. And then I think I like this shape, kind of like a tapered square. So let's make sure to try and bring that up and even have it in reverse. So I do like that type of motif there. I like. So that's cool. What else do I like about this? I think the shoulder pads can need some work. I'm gonna write iterates. So we can do that. And then we can, yeah, bring this motif up here. So make them similar. Switch. Cool. What else? Okay. I think that's enough notes for me. Okay, so cool. I'm going to wrap up this stream. I'll say what I was doing for anybody who's watching, tell you where I'm at, and then we're going to end the stream. And I'm going to eat something because I'm hungry. Okay, so basically, let me open this up again. Storyline there. We got to do this, this, this. I'm opening something up for you to see. That's not it. Here it is. Cool. So we have this animatic here. I used the reference on the bottom left. It's about 4 seconds of animation. And then I basically use mannequins to kind of map out them in 3D space. So I can either play with the camera and try some different stuff. And then I needed to decide what these characters look like. So what I was doing this stream was just kind of relaxing, really, and figuring out some different designs that I can do. And that's what we see here. Cool. It's very sloppy, but I want it to be like a sci-fi theme, kind of with the Apex Legends design language, which I really enjoy. We have a bunch of sketches that we went through. We started off our first sketch and then got better and better because we were warming up. And then finally, when we were warmed up, we made the suit. We got some flares here that I like. And I put a bubble on the head, but I think we're going to have her have more of a helmet, like a speed helmet or something. And some shape design language stuff that I like. But that's pretty much it. We're going to save it. So, yeah. This is the end of the stream. If anybody's watching, have any questions, please ask now, or I'm leaving soon. But I hope everybody had a good time watching. Kelly, thank you for asking the questions. Nando, thank you for telling me it was very cool. Rigatoni, Sam, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I hope you do well. I'll do this next Sunday again, just to continue, you know, the animation. Maybe I'll even have like this already figured out so then we can just go back to the animatic and stuff. But I'm literally mostly only working on this on a Sunday. So this is just what it looks like. You can check out the previous streams, how I got those animatics. Check out the description for any links for the things that I'm using. Anywho, I hope everybody has a wonderful week and take care. Goodbye. No problem, Kelly. Thank you for stopping by.